Dwight David Yoakam was born on October 23, 1956, in Pikeville, Kentucky. He was the eldest of 3 children born to David Yoakam and Ruth and Tibbs Yoakam. His father served in the United States Army at the time of Dwight's birth, and after his discharge, the family relocated to Columbus, Ohio. They later welcomed 2 more children, Ronald and Kimberly. David supported the family by working in various roles, including at a Westinghouse Electric Corporation factory and owning a Texaco gas station. Yoakam's interest in music began early, influenced by his parents' record collection and country music radio. He received his first guitar from his father and began writing songs in elementary school. Johnny Cash and Johnny Horton were among his early inspirations, along with the rock and roll performances he watched on television. In high school, Yoakam joined the school band as a drummer and participated in drama class, which boosted his confidence on stage. He formed a rock band with classmates and began performing at local events as the Greaser Band. Despite briefly attending Ohio State University, Yoakam dropped out to pursue his musical aspirations more seriously. After a disappointing encounter with a con artist promising a music contract, Yoakam decided to move to Nashville, where he encountered challenges due to his honky-tonk and bluegrass style contrasting with the popular country pop sound of the time. He later moved to Los Angeles, where he met guitarist and producer Pete Anderson. Their shared musical interests and exposure to the cowpunk and alternative country scene in California helped Yoakam gain traction in the music industry. By 1984, Dwight Yoakam had amassed a collection of original songs, prompting Pete Anderson to suggest recording some of them for an extended play, EP. Anderson took on the roles of producer and lead guitarist for the project, which would become a staple throughout Yoakam's career. The EP, titled Guitars, Cadillacs, Etc., Etc., was released on the Oak Records label and featured 5 original compositions by Yoakam, along with a cover of Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. The songs gained airplay on independent radio stations in Los Angeles, setting the stage for Yoakam's rise. Later that year, Yoakam secured an opening act slot for the Blasters, catching the attention of Reprise Records executive Paige Levy, who facilitated his signing to the label in 1986. Reprise reissued Guitars, Cadillacs, Etc., Etc. as Yoakam's debut album, adding 4 more tracks including a duet with Maria McKee titled Bury Me. The album's first single, a cover of Johnny Horton's Honky Tonk Man, reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart and topped the Canadian country music charts. Its accompanying music video marked the first by a country artist to air on MTV. The album itself peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. In 1987, Yoakam released his second Reprise album, Hillbilly Deluxe. The album kicked off with a cover of Elvis Presley's Little Sister, followed by original compositions like Little Ways and Please, Please Baby. All 4 singles from the album achieved top 10 status on the country music charts, with Little Ways also reaching number 1 in Canada. Hillbilly Deluxe was certified platinum and earned Yoakam a Grammy Award nomination. Critics praised the album's blend of cover songs and original compositions, highlighting Yoakam's vocal phrasing and Anderson's production. In 1990, Yoakam continued his success with the single Turn It On, Turn It Up, Turn Me Loose from his 4th studio album, If There Was a Way. The album produced several more hit singles over the following years, solidifying Yoakam's position as a prominent figure in country music. For his 1993 studio album, This Time, Dwight Yoakam collaborated with songwriter Costas on several tracks, with the exception of the lead single Ain't That Lonely Yet, co-written by Costas and James House. The song reached number 2 on the Billboard country charts and earned Yoakam his first Grammy Award for Best Male Country Vocal Performance. The album spawned 4 more singles, including 1,000 Miles from Nowhere and Fast As You, both reaching number 2 on the charts. Fast As You also marked Yoakam's first entry on the Billboard Hot 100. This time showcased a departure from Yoakam's previous work, with Pete Anderson stating they took all the boundaries down during the recording process. Yoakam expressed a desire to explore new musical territories while maintaining his signature sound. Tracks like Home for Sale incorporated elements of Stone Country backed by unconventional instruments like the Hammond organ. Critics noted influences of doo-wop and Roy Orbison throughout the album. Following the release of This Time, Yoakam embarked on a 75-city tour, featuring Alison Krauss and Union Station as the opening act. The album received critical acclaim and earned Yoakam his highest RIAA certification, achieving triple platinum status in 1996. It garnered nominations from the Country Music Association, further solidifying Yoakam's position in the country music scene. In 1997, Yoakam released Under the Covers, an album featuring cover songs. The project included a rendition of the Everly Brothers' Claudette as the only single and collaborations with artists like Sheryl Crow and Ralph Stanley. Despite its departure from original material, Under the Covers received praise for its visionary ambition and interpretations of classic songs. Later that year, Yoakam released Come On Christmas, an album of holiday music featuring traditional songs alongside original tracks like the title track and Santa Can't Stay. Critics praised the album for its high-spirited country rockers, making it an enjoyable addition to Yoakam's discography. In 1998, Columbia Records released a Tribute to Tradition, a collaborative tribute album to 1960s and 1970s country music. Dwight Yoakam was featured on the closing track, Same Old Train, an original composition by Marty Stewart. The song, which also included Earl Scruggs, Merle Haggard, Clint Black, and Randy Travis, among others, charted for 5 weeks on Hot Country Songs and won the Grammy Award for Best Country Collaboration with Vocals. Yoakam's contract with Reprise Records concluded with 2 albums released in 2000. The first, Dwight Yoakam Acoustic.net, featured acoustic recordings showcasing only Yoakam's vocals and acoustic guitar, with the exception of a re-recording of guitars. Cadillacs performed a cappella. Inspired by the success of similar renditions in his live performances, Yoakam originally intended to release the album through his website, but it garnered interest from Reprise Records due to its sales potential. The album, praised for its minimalistic approach, allowed Yoakam's vocal interpretation to shine. Following his departure from Reprise, Yoakam embarked on tours with Brooks Dunn and established his own record label, Electrodisc, in 2001. His first release under Audium Records, Population Me, 2003, featured covers such as Greg Henry's The Back of Your Hand and Burt Bacharach's Trains and Boats and Planes, as well as collaborations with artists like Timothy B. Schmidt and Willie Nelson. Critics noted influences from various genres, including Jackson Browne and Chuck Berry, in the album's sound. In 2005, Yoakam signed with New West Records and released Blame the Vein, his first credit as a producer. With former RCA Records artist Keith Gaddis as his guitarist and bandleader, Yoakam took a more hands-on approach to production. The album featured singles like Intentional Heartache and the title track, showcasing a hard rock sound and drawing comparisons to Elvis Presley. Additionally, Rhino Records reissued Guitars, Cadillacs, etc. in 2006 to commemorate its 20th anniversary, including previously unreleased demos and live